Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey.
Well, ready to let them loose?
Yep, that's it. Let's see if they make us run.
Oh,
Probably so.
yeah, that one tried to get after him, but other than that, what can you expect? I mean, can you blame them? Oh yeah, they're getting after us now. Go, Joey, go!
Hey man!
Good night, buddy. I'm gonna get in the truck. You gotta go back and get your camera.
But also, just get as many as you can off the one next to it. Out.
You gotta move away.
Do that side again. Y'all ready? Let's get started. And we are live. Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey, Mr. JW.
Hey, good evening, folks.
Hope everybody over in the chat there is doing well. We'll say hey to everybody. And I'm not going to try to keep up with it. It starts growing when I do that. It's been kind of a rainy day today. I mean, we didn't get a whole lot of rain, but we got some. Got a lot of thunder too and a little wind, but it was nice. It kind of kept it a little cooler for us today. Let's see what the humidity is. It's 81 right now and the humidity is 85. That's not too bad.
No, I'm 83, and it's showered here this afternoon, so I'm maybe more humid than what y'all are.
How you doing, Mr. JW?
I guess I'm still kicking. I haven't checked lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm alive.
Look like you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Had a rough week. I had a little incident last weekend, trying to get cleaned up from my mess I had from that. We had a little over 6 inches of rain there in 5 days, and I had all my bee boxes set out for the bees to clean out, and I had them all full of water. So
Yeah, I saw that.
I finally got them. It took me all week. I finished up this morning. I got them all back in boxes and got them put away, and I paramoth everything in my storage container and stack them and use paramoth to keep the. But I got them dried up good. I think they'll be fine.
That's good. Well, when I first saw your video coming on about, I just knew there was some damage, and I didn't know what. I said, "Did they go coons and done got in all his corn?"
It was something worse than coons. It was.
Yeah. They won't mess them all up. They will pull them out. I've seen them pull them out of the frames when you stand them up.
Oh yes, I had some they I had a migratory lid on it, and they knocked the lid off and was trying to pull the frames out of the hive. I guess they chewed out the top bars on some of my frames in the top box. So I've had that happen before. So, we had a nice little old shower again today. We're plenty wet, I can tell you, up here.
Well, I got one project I'm trying to finish up, and it doesn't have anything to do with beekeeping, but you know where my camper's sitting, and my line for it, my power line, is temporary on top of the ground right now. It's the one that's going to go in the ground.
Yeah.
And I figured I'd try to go ahead and get ready to bury that in the next few days. And I got out there to find my water line because I'm going to tie into my water line that's coming to the honey house.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to break that shovel trying to get a little hole.
Yeah.
That pipe's about 16 inches deep, and it took me 2 days to get to it.
Yeah.
I would scrape a little bit, and I'd take the water hose with the pressure nozzle, and kind of wash the edges and the bottom off and dig around a little bit. And it took about not 2 whole days of digging, but just letting it soak, and then come back and wash and dig some more. But
So what did you do? You didn't have that when we were down there last January. You didn't have the water hooked up, or did you have just a water hose?
Right now the water's hooked up right at the pump, that little shed right by it.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
But since I got to bury electrical line and rent a machine, I'm gonna go ahead and tie into the water too, and take them both right back there by the camper, by that trailer.
I'm gonna give you a little tip from experience. My own personal experience, just a little tip. Don't. A guy talked me into running them together.
Yeah.
In the same. Don't do that.
Yeah. Code's actually 3 foot. I'll probably stick with that.
Yeah.
It ain't too bad. Because I can go straight to it with one line and then get over and go, and the other line is going to come on the other side of the post. That way, if I have to dig one up, I know the other.
I'm going to throw this out for the chat, and it's in particularly for you, Joey. I'm wanting to come up with a cheap uncapper that works, but it's, hey, there's my good old buddy. How you doing, Mr. Prater?
Are you gonna pick on me tonight?
No, I'm gonna be nice to be people mode tonight.
I thought you were gonna shoot a couple shots over the bow tonight after the other match there.
No, to finish up my little deal when he popped on here, I want to come up with I had a simple harmony, and it works fine. It's done me fine, but I don't want to spend, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. What do you have, Joey? Don't you have something that's relatively cheaper?
Other than knives, I've got that side liner. You've seen it, hadn't you? It's got the little round roller blades on it, and you crank it through it.
Okay. Is that work simply? Have you seen those Simple Harmony Farms and just little rollers?
Exactly the same rollers.
Only it's a cranker.
Yeah,
you don't up and down.
Crank the frame, and you can crank that frame back and forth. Sliding it through until it actually, because they use rubber bands. This one's got springs, so when you roll it through there, every time you roll it through, it sinks a little further in there until it bottoms out on the frame. It's okay, but I don't know if it's worth the money they asking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're all, I'm like I said, at my age and with the number of hides I've got that I actually extract, I'm not going to spend $7,000 or $8,000 for an uncapper. I'm just not going to do it. Yeah. So I'm looking for something a little cheaper. I had a Simple Harmony Farms, and I traded it off over the last weekend. So I'm going to have to come up with something for next year.
Yeah, another one. If you didn't like it or wasn't working for you, this sideliner not going to work for you either.
Well, it worked okay for me. I just traded it off.
You didn't think you needed it at the time.
No, well, it wasn't the matter of that. I just had a need.
How much do you usually harvest though, pound wise?
This was an off year, and I actually harvested 1,220 pounds. What I extracted this year.
I can't even think of the name of it. It's similar to that one that Bob has got, but it's smaller.
I've got the only problem I have with it is a good while ago I bought a licensed uncapping tank, a smaller one, and it's not wide enough. I have to set that Simple Harmony Farms frame, if you know what I'm talking about. I have to set it at an angle because it's too wide it's too wide. My frames won't go down to it without setting it in an angle.
Yeah.
Or the tank isn't wide enough. My frame's at the sides. So
You know, it might be a pain in the butt, but why don't you drag all your boxes down the other side of the river and have old Tom and Melissa do it for you for like 10 cents a frame? And then
I'm going to tell you something. Believe it or not,
he's got that poor man set up, you know.
yeah, he offered to even let me even do that, but I'm too proud. You know, I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of letting him know. I would use his services. No, that's not. See, I went down over with Matt Ramsbottom. You know, I went down and helped him. We extracted. In one day we extracted, the two of us, we extracted, I think a little over, I don't know exactly what he ended up with, but a little over 1,200 pounds down at his place.
Yeah.
And he still had some more to pull. I've got some more that I can pull, but I'm so doggone fed up with, after I had my problem with all my empty supers, that we got all that rain while I was down at Matt's. Actually, it started and rain. We got 6 inches of rain there. Rained every day, just about all day, and I had a mess. I got water in all those supers. I cleaned up 328 individual frames, shook them out, shook the water out of them. Some of the bad ones I re-dipped in bleach water, and let them, put them all under fans, stacked them top down on a trailer. I put fans on them, and I got them dried back up. I finished up this morning. I've worked all week getting those 328 supers, and I had 46 boxes that I had extracted out of. And wow. thank you, Jesus, is Jeff Horsharf would say it. That's what I said when I finished up this morning. I finally got them all back in their boxes and stored away, and I used the Paramoth. I use it, you know, to keep the stuff out of them. So I've got them all put back to storage again. So
I bet you're glad not to look at those for a while, huh?
Oh God, I'm sick of them. Sick of it. And my fingernails, I had so much propolis and, you know, wax underneath them. They're just, I look like I've been working as a grease monkey someplace. So, but I'm done. Thankfully, I'm done now, unless I get stupid and decide to pull a few more supers. But I don't know if I will or not. I've still got some queen excluders on a few of them, so I am going to have to take them off if I don't go ahead and pull them. You know, so the queen can go ahead and use them.
I've kind of got the opposite problem than you do. I don't have much of nothing.
You mean as far as honey?
Yeah. I made a video this morning, but I'm having problems uploading it. So I was going to try to get it out today, but I'll probably have to just get it out tomorrow. But bottom line is competition, bee competition. There's too many bees.
Your old buddy down the road's robbing all your sources, eh? Yep.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did you ever make contact with him? You mentioned that she's going to try to talk to him.
Well, I'm just going to let it play out until November, because I know he's moving his bees anyway for almonds. He'll probably get them out of there in December or so. Yeah. And I'll just let him know, hey, you know what, Max, I'm right over here down the road. Can you thin the herd next year? I mean, he didn't have any colonies there 2 years ago. He had a little tiny out yard there last year, and I thought, okay, that's no big deal. And then, you know, and sometime in March, he dropped like 100 of them there. Yeah. So I'll just ask him to if he cut it in half, that'd be great. But you know, I have a job, and this is my side job. He makes a living doing this, so you know, it might be tough.
Can you hear someone talking in the background? My son's here, and he was talking pretty loud.
I hear somebody.
Yeah, that's my son. He's getting ready to. They're leaving on vacation. He's talking with his mother in the other room.
It wasn't, it's
Let me
not
slow him
bothering.
down a little bit.
I wasn't even paying any attention.
He's yelling away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, I can't tell the guy what to do, but you just ask him if he can lower the number of boxes he puts in there.
Yeah.
He's got, he has about 2,000 colonies, so he's got, I don't know how many out yards, but if he can find one more or put an extra pallet in some other yards.
Yeah. That many colonies just suck all the nectar out of the ground.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, this year, I'm going to have to buy honey this year. So I've never had to do that.
Now, why would he put that many in one place?
Well, knowing him, him and the environment around here, there's not much going on now. He probably made a pretty decent orange crop last year when he dropped them out. He dropped a few boxes there after almonds. And then he probably found out, hey, there's pretty good orange here, and then pretty good wildflower, and then he decided, well, I'm going to double up this year or triple up, and he just put a ton there. He put easily 2 truckloads in there. I'm guessing from the trucks I see him carrying bees around. So I'll just ask him, hey, please.
Yeah.
Take some away for me. And you know what? It's no fault of his. And I said this in my video. I'm kind of in like a little valley, and there's between me and him, there's trees and buildings. So he doesn't know I'm there. He has no idea that I'm there.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything last year because he only put like, maybe 15 colonies there. But it's crazy now, so I've got to do something. But again, I'm not gonna do it until after everything's done. I might get a decent blue curl crop this year because that weed is popping out of the ground everywhere right now, and I don't know why, except that maybe right now it's only 90 degrees. It should be 100.
Yeah.
So this mild summer we're having might make that plant produce a lot more nectar than it usually does. And if that's the case, I might be able to make a decent blue curl crop, and then I'll have a talk with them anyway, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, your honey, of course, you've got a little flow normally pretty much year round, do you not, Todd? So
Pretty much, yeah.
Your bee's not going to be hurting for resources during your off season. Are you concerned about that, or is it
not too bad? No, this is a different guy this is a different guy that all those swarms came from last year. But no, my bees, I think that right now they're bringing enough food in for them to sustain themselves. They just don't have a lot of excess. So
yeah.
They're not starving. I lifted some boxes up. They're okay. It's just that the extra is just not there. So I got to,
see out here or what?
What's that?
I said out here, that if someone would, rob all your local resources, well, your bees could possibly starve out. But during the winter months, so
yeah. No,
but I've got plenty of it, and I don't have that much competition, so that's not a problem for me. So.
I've never had a problem. I've been there for 8 or 9 years and never had a problem. So, but I'll probably have to feed them a little bit too. So I'll be buying sugar and buying honey.
Well, I just want you to know that you're awfully welcome. I've got plenty of ground out here you can put hives on if you want to have if you want to have a long distance out yard. You're sure welcome, Gregor.
Wow. Hey, you never know. I might take you up on that one. Tough commute though.
Reckon you can write that off?
Yeah, I can write the mileage off.
Mhm.
Oh man, that's about all that's going on over here.
Well, that's not.
This is my newest uncapper.
Oh, yeah, I got me one of those too.
This one just came in.
Yeah, mine did too.
They work okay. I just little boy. I'm just looking for something. I do all my extracting 90% of the time by myself. So
Yep.
I'm just looking for something. I just thought maybe some folks might have some good ideas on something or something that might be. I don't mind spending at least $10 or $12 on a good, automatic uncapper, but I am not going to spend
Have you ever watched Morning Glory Apiaries
no.
videos? He's got a nice little uncapper, and I can't remember the name of it. I might go over here and try to find it.
Yeah.
But
Well, Randy's got one on here, and so's David. So I'll look at their posts, see what they're using.
You set that frame in it, and then you just pull a lever and make it go down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it even comes back up, but it's like a little chain uncapper. Now, I do know he gets a lot more. I mean, it does a good job, but he gets a lot more cappings through his extractor when he uses it.
Yeah.
I'll look at the Amazon
big
one,
deal.
David, and I'll look at Randy's setup.
JW, with your setup, do you get a lot of that? Tom was talking about it the other night. Produces a lot of extra little wax.
I've been around several automated, uncappers with these different people around the country, and I don't know that I get that much more with that Simple Harmony with them rollers. And you get some, yes, but I've got 4 or 5 of them. All I use the screen and stuff with is coming out of my extractor. I've got a 24 frame extractor I've got about 3 of them, and I just rotate them around, kind of wipe them out and wash them out with hot water as I go, and I can run about as solid as I can uncap and get it in the extractor and get it extracted by myself.
Yeah.
My big problem is working by myself is I've got to make sure that I've got all those frames pretty well offset by size in that extractor, where it don't go to dancing the cowbushel boogie on me.
Yeah.
So that takes a little time.
Wow. I'm going to cut a lot of time out with that knife. Because that'll reach across a deep frame. That'll be so much easier than that heated knife I have. It'll be fast.
I did do something for next year on all those boxes I went through. I've got all 8 frame stuff. Well, 90% of my stuff's 8 frame. I reduced all my supers down that I'm going to use for honey supers next year. I just put 7 frames in them. I've always used the 8, and I'm going to see how it works out. I may change my mind after next year, but I'm going to try all 7, to run them, draw it out a little further. That's one thing about that Simple Harmony in my mind. It doesn't like them real thick. It forces a lot of the honey out of it when they go through the rollers with it.
There's a limit to where those things expand.
Yeah.
And another thing, this one's the same way. They're identical as far as the blades.
Mm-hmm.
When you use it a lot and you got a lot of excess, it starts filling those gaps up.
Mm-hmm.
And it causes it for some reason to pull the comb off.
Off the frame. Yeah. Well, it would be down there where you're real hot.
What they need to do is design some kind of fork or something that actually fit in between those blades where you can put it in there and just spin it a couple of times and pull that back out right quick.
Well, my standard procedure for uncapping with that Simple Harmony was I've got one of them little old hand spike rollers, and I just roll it lightly, the opposite, crisscross it with that, and that seems to help. And then you can make it one swipe down, one swipe back on the mediums, which 80% of my honey supers are mediums. I don't keep too many deeps. I've got a few.
Yeah, I'm going to start looking to switch over to mediums.
If I can talk myself out of selling nukes anymore, I would go all mediums.
Yeah.
Everybody wants deep frames.
What's the nukes got to do with having mediums, Joey? I mean,
I was actually. Let me get through eating. About my third year, I was decided that I was going to go all mediums. Me and a buddy of mine, we both figured we'd go all mediums, not any more deeps. And that's the same year that I started selling nukes, and everybody wants deep frame nukes. So I had to keep buying the deep frames. So I said, if I got to do that, it's all deeps.
I got you. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, they would want the deep frame nukes, yes.
I'd really, if I had the choice or, didn't have to fool with the deeps, I would go all mediums. And I keep watching, when I watch Keith work his beehives, I just like those mediums. What's good about that, if you got, say, one deep or maybe two deeps of brood and you get ready to add, when you're adding deeps, you're adding a big volume, empty volume there, where when you're adding a medium, it doesn't kind of like throw the colony out, so to speak. If you give them too much space, it kind of demoralizes them for a little while. When you're putting those mediums on there, it's not messing them up so bad. My opinion.
Yeah. Bob, Robo Bob, what do you do? Where are you located, if I may ask, and what do you use for your brood chambers on those 8-frame mediums? Using all 8-frame mediums, how much you use the double? What do you use? Period. If you can hear me.
What I'll do is I'll keep my deeps as brood boxes and just use the mediums as honey supers. That's all. I'm not going completely mediums.
Yeah, that's what I primarily do.
And when you think about it, you get more medium frames than extractors, right? And people will say, well, maybe you're not spinning enough as you would with deeps, but you're also, if you're doing mediums, you're going through the boxes faster than you would with the deeps, because they just hold more medium frames, and so you could get through boxes faster.
Well, actually, the extractor I got a hold 24 either way, 24 mediums or 24 deeps. It's one of John Hilco's. It's a 24.
If I had all brand new John Deere equipment, a private jet, I'd probably get me a big extractor like that too. But
Oh, I'll tell you, I know where there's one for sale.
Yeah, I asked him about that, and he doesn't want to give me free shipping, so I said, forget it.
Okay, Bob, thanks for the info. I was just curious. I run a lot of double deeps, or a deep and a medium for brood. I just wonder what you run. But you're a little colder than I am, probably there in Iowa. So I'm just curious. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, old Tom wouldn't accept my offer of free shipping, so.
Well, he's like that away. You got to watch him. He's got a lot of horse trader in. He'll skin you if he gets about half a chance, I can tell you.
I started to call him, see what he wanted for that one.
No. That's practically brand. I think it maybe did one extraction with it.
He did.
He bought a 36 over a 30. It just went from a 32 to a 36. I think he's got more money than he knows what to do with. That's what I'm
Now,
thinking.
what'd you say yours does, JW? 24,
24. Yeah.
and that's the hill code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually would be perfect for me. That size.
And I tell you what I do a lot of is working by myself, since I can get them in a lot faster, and it don't seem to unbalance quite as bad as I just use I can do 12 using every other slot. And I do a lot of that. I just run, even though it's a 24 frame extractor, I just run the 12 and it works really quite well actually.
I have tried to show that on my video with that 19 framer I got. You can do 19 mediums, 19 shallows. I mean 18, not 19. 18 of either of those, or you can do 9 deeps or 9 deeps with 9 mediums.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot when I'm bringing in both sizes.
Yeah.
You can also do 3. You can do 3 frames. A lot of people don't even think about that, but you can, as long as you use that common denominator when you pull cherry picking, where you have that even number.
Mm-hmm.
But it works.
Well,
good.
it's just a lot easier, if you with these bigger extractors, they're so close together. When you fill them up like 36 or the 24 or whatever, they're so close together. That last 4 or 5, you really have to work. They'll get them eased down through there. Or Bob Walker. Hey, Bob.
I won't have to worry about my extractor wobbling all over the floor this year. I can tell you that.
Did you get you some of those springs or what?
No, I don't have any.
Lock her down. Oh, you don't have to worry about it. No, honey. Oh, well, that's good. I'm going to try some of those springs. I've got this one set up on there. Well, actually, I traded Tom out of that. The one I've got come from Tom. That's one of his rejects. So, but it's good enough to suit me fine. I'm perfectly satisfied with it.
Yeah. Well, one of these days, I'll make it to the big leagues.
Yeah. So, well, I tell you, it's awful tough up here at the top. You got, it's the only way you can go is downhill. So I'm going there.
I bought me a set of them wheels to go on my uncapping tank.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if I need to cut my legs off a little bit, because when my wife's helping me, she's already having to reach up.
Oh, like that, yeah.
But I may cut a couple of inches off of it before I put them on it. It'll take me 3 years before I decide to cut them legs off.
Yeah, I went down there. He's kind of, that might not be the whole full truth.
Still noon.
Heck, I'd have 2 or 3 loads done before he rolled out of bed in the morning. I'd have to holler and scream or get him down to come down the stairs. I told him he's going to die of bed sores.
Somebody came to my house one time, and I was just getting out of bed about 7 o'clock. They said, "Man, you sleep late." I said, "I got up early this morning. I just taking a nap." I'm usually awake at 5 o'clock.
I'll be honest with you. I was a 5 o'clocker, 4:30, 5 o'clocker for years and years and years. And here in the last year, I've intentionally tried to back off and stay in a little longer. And just
Oh boy.
Oh, COVID.
Oh, I wonder when they're going to stop calling it COVID and just a really bad flu.
Yeah.
You may just have to give her, Joey, you may have to give mother just get her a big stool to stand on or something,
Yeah.
If you fall off a stool, she may quit you too. If you got help, why don't?
She kind of has quit me. I've been the last 2 or 3 times I've uncapped. She wasn't in here.
It's.
I tell you what, it goes
as they get older.
When both of us are in here, it goes a lot quicker and smoother.
My bride is having a birthday tomorrow, so I'm
Happy birthday.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got her. She's got her boob tube all in the other room. She don't partake in this bee stuff at all. So tomorrow is her 82nd circle around the sun. So
Chris, that's what this is.
birthday present.
You can't see it good, but it bends easy. That way you can kind of push in on it and it'll go into the.
I've got a double-sided one. I mean, an older one that I've had for a good while. An old double-sided serrated knife that I use on occasion. I like something a little faster.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get some of them Louisiana boys. Maybe I can get Paul to come up here and help me extract honey. You think, Joey?
Who?
Paul Hale down there. Maybe Paul would come up
Yeah,
here.
he might.
He might be able to come up here and help me extract. I never thought about calling him. I don't know what Bruce Jennings, what he tells those folks, but he's got that old Tom Sawyer act down pretty pat. Looks to me like all the people he had him flying in down there from everything else to help him.
You could send out that private jet out here, and I'll help you. Give me a ride over there.
You realize how much fuel that thing burns going to California and back? I couldn't even afford the fuel bill. Now I'm on a fixed income, as the old boy says.
What's old Tom and Melissa doing? I'm surprised they're not chit-chatting in here.
They had that. Corey Stevens was up there today doing that grafting school, so they may not be free from that yet.
That's right. I forgot.
That was an all-day deal, 8 to 5. So
yeah,
they may still be. You know, they're pretty strong in this politics with all these beekeeping superstars, I call them.
Well, Tom's probably taking them out to dinner.
Maybe. We won't be Tom, maybe the bee club may be, but it won't be coming out of Tom's pocket, I can almost assure you. Maybe the bee club.
In space somewhere.
Oh, Paul can't help me. I appreciate the thought, Paul. That was just a casual comment. 2 more years, Lord, I may be fertilizing daisies by that time, you know.
Oh man. I got not much else going on except the weather's been unbelievable here.
You mean good or bad?
Good. I mean, so far we've had 2 days at 100 degrees or higher since May.
Well, I'll tell you what, our temperatures haven't been so bad. They've been in the high 80s, low 90s, but the humidity just about the same as what the temperature is here.
Yeah.
It's just been ferociously. Wednesday I changed clothes 5 times, and Thursday I changed clothes 4 times.
Wow.
If you move, if you sweat, and I can stand wet underwear for about an hour, and I've got to get out of them. So when I left to go to the farm to the bee yards, I usually take about 4 or 5 extra bunches of clothes. It's terrible here, been ferociously uncomfortable. Let's put it that way.
It's saying it's a mild summer is an understatement. It's really been wacko this year. Weather has really been strange.
Chris, if you're talking about Greenville, Illinois, I'm probably 85 miles from south and east of there. If that's what you talk about, Chris Combs. He's asked me how far I was from Greenville. I'm saying. Yeah, I probably will be, Paul. You're probably right.
Hey, boy, I saw me a humongous black widow this morning. First thing I thought of was, maybe I'll poke it with my finger.
You see that thing swing around the corner of that box?
Yeah, it was coming. It wanted nothing to do with you except knock you out.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a few of those around. I haven't seen a black widow around here the last couple of years.
Oh, we got a bunch of them. And I had actually looked at that box when I picked it up. Yeah. And still didn't see her. She might have swung around the other side real quick. She's like a little ninja.
You know, half the time they get in those handholds, but half the time that's why I'm wearing gloves, just because of that. You know, because I'll put my fingers on those handholds and feel the squishiness. I'm like, oh, there goes another one.
Well, most of them I got are actually under the hive, because I got other spiders that kind of dwell in front and under the. Anytime I've got like the telescoping cover, they like to get around those. And it's not black widows; it's just other spiders. And I guess they keep that black widow. She'd rather be under the bottom of mine.
I got them on both, except mine are on the inside handholds between the boxes. So you got one stack here and the other one's, butt up against it. And those two handholds create a little. I don't see how they can. Well, once they get big enough, they can't get out of there.
Yeah.
But when I'm lifting those boxes up, that's usually when I see them.
I've got a video that I'm working on with a black widow spider and a snake. I've had it like since 2011 and just never did anything with it. But I started putting it all together the other day. Figured I'd show that. It has nothing to do with beekeeping, but I figured I'd show it. It might be interesting to somebody.
When you made that short, you were going to say something about, I have a video about, is that what you were talking about?
Yep. I may try to work that in there somewhere.
Those things are fast, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They are pretty quick.
But that thing swung around or whatever. She ran that band or either just shot herself around. I don't know how she did that. But on that video that I got with that little snake, it's a little ring-necked snake. When I found it, it was actually too late for the snake to survive. She had already stung it several times. But it was still moving, and it would stop. And when it would start moving again, she'd come back down, sting on it some more, and you could see her webbing. And then she would tug that thing up and pull him. She'd go running back up that web, and it would hoist him on up a little higher, and she'd tie him off. He'd start moving again. She'd come back down, sting on him some more. But it's something.
I think what they claim they do is just suck the fluid out of it. Is
that what they do?
Yeah, they just suck the fluid out of them.
It looked like she was biting on him.
I don't like them. They're no fun.
See.
I've been bit by 2 or 3 of them. Been black widows. Every one of them died.
Biting into you?
Yeah.
Well, what about rattlesnakes?
4 or 5 of them also. I am a snake lover though. I've got all kinds of snakes around, so you don't have to. But I used to have a few rattlesnakes around, but when the grandkids come along, I got rid of most of them. I was afraid one of them might get bit. And I kept them out at the farm, kept them in my buildings, believe it or not.
Keep the mice down.
So, I've got a lot of big old black snakes too.
Let me see if I can show this. A little bit of it.
Holy
Oh,
cow! Yeah.
That's
That's
just little,
that's a
little,
small one right there.
It's a little ring neck. They don't get too big.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about the spider. That's
Yeah, she's pretty big.
oh man. I bet there's people not looking at the screen right now. Is old Kimberly still here? She probably turned her head.
Okay. Well, those brown recluses are a little more poisonous
Yeah.
than the black widow.
Yeah.
That flame, Philip.
They actually the bad one.
Yeah.
The fiddle spider.
Them suckers are like them hive boxes and stuff. I've got several of those around here.
Roy, I do have music to it, the one I'm working on, but that one there has people talking. I just had to mute it, but I do have music to it. It kind of dramatized a little bit.
You're gonna be in YouTube prison again.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering.
Probably. Can't show anything about nature. Oh, Kimberly likes spiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Kimberly. She's my neck of the woods, you know.
I should have took a picture of the one I messed with today. It had a butt like the size of a grape. It was humongous.
I tell you what gets you, and I'm so used to it. Back when I used to hunt, I was just used to it, but it still gets you when you do it. But I'd go walking in the woods before the sun up, and I can see my trail. I always kind of zigzag my trails down through the woods, and I can see where I'm going without my flashlight. And I'd run into those big
Spider webs.
and spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Hit you in the face, man. Just, pow, you feel that meat hitting you in the face. You know what it is. And their daggum webs are like rope.
Mm-hmm.
Break it away from you.
They're terrible here right now. I even some of my buildings out at the farm, you open the door and walk through. Well, you walk through, they build them webs right in the door casing, you know, where you walk right through them. You don't see them till you're already in them.
I had one trip me up one time. Black widow web.
Oh, Philip, you deserve everything you got. The way I figure it, the way you cheat on those honey shows and stuff. He's surely awfully busy, or he'd be on here lying
That
to
sounds
us.
like a plan, Paul.
Are you sure about that, Kimberly? I'm not that far from you, and I've got a few. You may not have any. You may just not have seen them.
You know that prison where I worked at, when I actually worked there too when we were building that thing, and they didn't do it like they're supposed to when they sprayed for spiders. They had a lot of spiders out there in the lay down yards, and they had sprayed for them. And I don't really know exactly when, but they were supposed to come back and spray again after the eggs hatch. And they didn't. They chose not to, trying to save money. And the problem just got worse, you know, instead of better. But that place was loaded with spiders of all kinds.
I don't mind the daddy long legs, but when you get up to the black widows and brown recluse, that's where I draw the
I'm
line.
not even sure that. I mean, it's in the arachnid family, but I'm not even sure them granddaddy longlegs is a quote unquote true spider, are they? I'm just saying.
I heard something about them. If their bite was able to puncture our skin, they would be deadly to us.
I've always heard that, but I don't know if it's true.
I've had crawl all over me a jillion times. I had 4 or 5 of them when I
Yeah.
found those bee boxes. They, for some reason, they seem to like those empty bee boxes to crawl around on.
Yeah.
I don't know if they like the honey or
This
what
time
it is.
this time of year, I had the same problem, except they're black widows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they jump in those boxes, even when there's bees in them. I could tell when there's a black widow in them sometimes because the bees are on one half of the box, and then the other half of the box is all webbing. You pull the frame up, and you could hear it tear the webs. So then I usually find a black widow down there.
Eddie, I haven't done any mite washes, but I'm fixing to. I just finished up. I've got one more round with OAV. I do a 4 grams 4 times, 4 days apart, and I've got one more of them to do. And then I'm going to go with Apiguard, I guess. Put on 25 grams for 3 or 4 weeks.
I figured if my mites wanted to take a bath, they'd do it themselves.
Oh, geez.
You know, I had a fan running. I just carrying on discussion here. I had a fan running, a pretty good a big barn fan, you know, that I had for my livestock. I had it running when I was trying to clean out all those, and it was sitting about 5 foot from me. And those honeybees, I was going to bring this up and get some expert opinions. Those honeybees would fly through that fan, and the ones that would live, I'm going to say 80% of them would have their abdomen off their bodies, and them little gals was crawling around.
Yeah.
Now I wonder, does anyone have any idea how long a bee would live? Surely they can't live very long without their abdomen. But they sure was.
I've seen them in the hive like that, but I don't know what caused it or anything. But I have seen them.
I know what caused these. That fan, they was going to go ding, ding, ding.
Gunline Bees had a video on one like that not too long ago.
Yeah, he did.
I must have had probably 200 or 300 laying on the floor there where they'd hit that fan and knocked them. Either most of them it killed, you know, but the ones that come through, I got to looking at them and noticing they was crawling around, but they didn't have an abdomen. So that was kind of unusual, or I thought it was. So, but some of you etymologists can maybe tell us where they could live very long without their abdomen or not, because I honestly don't know. I wouldn't think they could.
Well, at least they won't poop on you.
Won't sting you.
It won't sting you either.
Yeah, poor things, but it was a matter of them or me, and when it come to the choice of them living or me being halfway bearable, I could stand it. Why? I went with in my favor. I run the fan. What is OAV and are they? Beginning of the year tomorrow.
I still have my pads on. I'm not going to do anything about that for another couple weeks.
Oh, you made some extended release pads, did you, Todd?
Yeah.
Matt's got some, made some. I've got some of his, and I've not put them on. But I've about decided I've got some Apiguard that's going to be out of date, but next year, no, probably I think I'm going to go ahead and use it up.
Well, if you do want to use the pads, it's a good idea to use those first.
Yeah, that's what I agree with that.
Yeah, before.
That's the reason I went ahead and I'm doing my OAVs, because I was going to put on the Apiguard, you know. So no, I'll probably hold those pads up to. If I do use them on down the road a ways. I'll give them time to clean up from the thymol.
I've got I looked on the calendar, and the the long range forecast, I've got about 9 more weeks until I can feel comfortable using ApiGuard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the pads on for another week or two, and then I'm going to put tablets on the hives.
Gotcha.
And then if the tablets are still there in late September, I'll take those off. I'll put them in a baggie and throw them in the freezer, and then I'll use ApiGuard, and then that'll be that. And I think next year I'm going to do Formic. I'm going to do Formic next year if the tariffs don't hit Formic. If the tariffs hit Formic, it's going to be real expensive.
How much shim do you need to make the lid fit right on top of that app tablet?
Well, it depends. It depends on how your boxes, the rabbits on your boxes are cut. If they're, I think the normal depth is 5/8.
It is.
Press it. If they're that depth, they're okay. But I'm putting them on doubles. So when I put them in between those, the tablets will come up right to about the edge of the box, right? The frame rest, the ears of the frame, they'll come right up to the edge of the box, and then I have a 3/8 rim on my lids.
Yeah.
I've got it covered. If it's
He's talking rapid tablets, Eddie. Pardon me for cutting in. Eddie was asking what the tablets were. They're those Zappa tablets is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Tablets, yeah. So yeah, they can be a problem. The problem is with the manufacturing of them. He has a mold. I don't think he can make a thinner mold because those tablets will start breaking up.
Yeah.
But if when you're doing doubles, if you put them on doubles, you got to count the frames. Like it'll cover. I usually do it on the third and fourth frame from the edge of the box. The the tablet will cover both of those frames. It won't overlap to 3 frames. It'll overlap to 2. So then when you put that top box on, you got to kind of push the box itself down, but you also have to watch if those frames lift up, the third and fourth frame on the top box. Then you'll have plenty of room. You should have plenty of room anyway. But
I figured those Greg Burns has those lids he builds. He already has the frame that shim built in them.
Yeah.
And I have found that to be handy. It really is. It's handy.
It is handy.
It'll probably make them fit real well.
You can do them, you know yourself, Joey, pretty easy. If you got a table saw, just rip them.
Yeah. All you need is what, 1 inch by 3/8 or even a half inch.
You need half inch by 3/8 would work on them. A lot of them. That's what three-quarter actually instead of half. That's how thick like a 1 by 12 or something is. You can rip them off of them and just cut, rip a 3/8 strip.
It's
however thick you want your shrimp. I make some of my shims. I make all of my own shims, and I make some of them 2.5 inches thick. Just to give them. If you put them on for thymol, needs a little air, Joy. So don't be shy if you're going to use thymol.
It wouldn't hurt to kind of shim it up.
You want to give them a little air. I'm not saying it needs a full box for air, but it needs a good thick shim for air. In my opinion, a half inch or 3/4 shim won't give you enough room for thymol.
When I use ApiGuard, I put, I have some shims that are 1.5 inches and others that are 2 inch.
Yeah.
And so then I put my lid on
I
top.
would suggest that you might want at least that much, for the ApiGuard, which is thymol, basically.
Yeah.
Because you can smoke them.
Yeah, you can.
So with it, especially nukes, I wouldn't suggest it. In my opinion, don't anybody use them on 5-frame nukes.
No.
It's just,
No.
it's just not enough room in there for it to off gas enough before it does damage.
Yeah, that's a trick there.
My good old dirty side buddy, he unlifed a bunch of them last year with it.
Oh man. Yeah, that's some tricky stuff with a 5-frame nuke, especially if it's, a medium-sized nuke. Yeah,
I've got to get a little break in the weather. That's what I'm waiting on to even put it on, because I've got to get a little break in the weather before I can dare even put it on my 8-frame stuff.
Yeah. For me to use it, I'm always using it September. I've even put it on in October.
It's usually one of my spring go-tos, but I was a little late getting around this year and everything. Well, we had some doggone much rain. It just rain. Our annual rainfall is 48 inches over the years for this area of the part of the country. And I'm already up like to 68, here. And it's July?
That's 5 years worth over here.
Yeah. It's, now somebody that's keeping full track of it. I keep semi track of it, but I think I'm pretty close on the 68. I won't.
Talking about Formic again, if it's, if the price doesn't go up drastically next year, I think I'm gonna put it on right after oranges. So I'll put it on middle of May. I could do it early. I could do it before that. I could do it in late February, which I might do too. But
Personally, I'm just telling you my opinion, Todd. Personally, I prefer it as a late summer, late summer treatment. But our weather is a little more stable then than it is, that's the reason I like to rotate my treatments, but I use Formic and OAV and Apigard.
I would definitely use
Apivar, and I still get good knockdown with Apivar. I'm telling you, I'm not suggesting that other people use it because they said a lot of them's getting built up a resistance to it, but I have not had a problem yet. But I used it last spring, the last time I used the Apivar. That's the handiest and easiest one, but it is a synthetic chemical. It's not a natural chemical like Apigard and Formic. So.
If I do use Formic, there would definitely have to be some brood in there because that's the whole reason to use Formic.
Yeah.
It just depends on the year, It's never the same. I'd actually like to use Apigard too in the spring. I might do that like in late May instead. But I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you had decent results, in your opinion, from your tablets?
Yeah, I have actually. I try to, my whole thing is I kind of do it backwards. I try to keep them clean in the fall versus the spring because, well, I could put tablets on in the spring too, like in late February, early March. But I know that they're probably not going to go through the whole tablet, so I'd have to scrape them off anyway. But I forgot what I was going with, but oh well. The tablets do work for me. They've come in real handy, and I think the reason why they come in real handy for me is because obviously you have to use them during a dearth. If there's no other alternative for them to have, you give them these tablets, they'll take it because it's like 80% sugar. And so for me, those conditions are in late October, early November, and that's a perfect time for me to put them on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that. I skipped Apiguard one year and I put on tablets. I had no problem from from fall into spring. So there's an art to them. You really have to pay attention to, if there's nothing coming in, that's the perfect time to put it on there. You want them to digest it. So when they digest it, and this is this is just me talking. My opinion is when they have those different essential oils running within their bodily fluids, and those mites bite into them, that gets them. But also, it also has thymol in it, and that gets the mites anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're feeding off the bees and they've got that stuff in their system, I think that's what really gets them. That's just me talking.
I understand. That's all we can do. Is we're not experts. All we can do is state of our opinion on where stuff works or not, and that's how you learn.
But
right now would be the time for me to use those. I've got a few of them that, well, actually, I got them off of you. You know that. So but I haven't used them yet. But now my dearth will be starting here in the next, I'm going to say, but the 10th of August, I'll be in full dearth, I'd say, probably here.
But with all that I said, I have to say, they're not approved. They're not approved for mites, right?
I understand.
Use them as a feeding supplement. That's the key, because in a dearth, there's nothing else for them to get. When this has got sugar in it, that's gonna tide them over. So you put
I've got some young hives that need fed. I was going to use it as on my trial basis on some of those, just to see if they would take it in and they could use if they work for me, then that would be a good deal. It serve two purposes.
Yeah.
I'm a little short on sugar this year. I've only got a ton. So.
That's terrible. What are you going to do? These are going to starve.
One of my good old dirty side buddies they come up with that for me, so I've got a ton of sugar that I've got access. Well, stored actually.
It's probably hot sugar. They gave it to you.
So probably was. It's probably. Yeah. I give big money for that stuff too. To get it, they probably tripled their money. I think I give 35 cents a pound for it, or some outrageous high price.
Yeah.
Is it in sacks or barrels?
It's in a big ton sack.
Yeah.
Really?
One of those big totes.
Yeah, great big white totes.
Yeah.
It's about I'm going to say a 4 or 5 foot square.
Yeah.
Cube, vertically and horizontally, probably in all directions. So it's we got it from the same guy last year, and I think I only give 25 cents. He raised his price $1 or 10 cents a pound this year. We give, I think, 35 cents a pound for it, but he's out of business, so I'm told. So we'll have to find a new market, and I'm sure it won't be that reasonable. So.
Well, I think I'm going to get out of here. I got to start cooking.
Already?
Yeah, it's.
Somebody had asked you what was for supper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tonight I got me pork tenderloin. I cut up a bunch of medallions, and so I'm going to have a couple medallions and asparagus, and then
again. I'm telling you what, that you must live on that asparagus. Is it in season year round out there where you're out there in the valley, or?
No, not around here. It's imported. It comes from Mexico, and
okay. I have to say I've got my neighbor just within 200 yards of one of my apiaries. He's got about 20 acres of it, but it's strictly at about the end of April. It's just about all gone.
Fly me in there and fly me in there, and I'll go sneak out there in the middle of the night and grab me a bunch.
He,
You know what I like though is I don't like that real thick, thumb thick stock
he
of
gets them every day. They're just about the size of your little finger, the end of
Oh
them.
man, those are the best.
And about, if you get them from him, they'll be about 6 to 8 inches long, not the
Yeah.
old. See, that starts to get stemmy, when it gets a little too
I
big.
cut them down. Yeah, I cut them down a bit from the head. I cut them down about 6, 7 inches. But I'll brush on a bunch of olive oil, then I'll salt and pepper them up and put them on the grill. Oh man, put them on the grill for about 12, 14 minutes, and they're done. They're good to go.
Of course, you're 2 hours behind us, aren't you? You 7:42, or you're 6:42, aren't you? About 7:15 your place.
I'm 6:42. Yeah.
There's that guy that.
Is that
Well, I'm not going to talk about him since he's here. I was going to talk about him.
He's the guy
I heard everything you were saying. I was in a pizza party.
JW said you're the one that knocked off a semi-load full of sugar and dropped him a big old bag of it off.
Oh, well, we can't talk about any of that right here.
Did you see what Brian said? That sugar was in packets.
It was 1 tablespoon packets.
It'd be a job trying to make sugar water out of a bunch of packets.
Oh, man.
Let's just say it was a sweet deal.
But I don't know.
How's everything going?
What? I got to go cook.
How are you?
Fine.
I knew that was going to come sooner or later, Todd. I had to pop on here before you signed off.
My tapeworm is tapping on my belly again. It's time to,
Oh no!
Yeah.
He's going to have the asparagus. Some dreaded disease that come from asparagus, I can tell you, because I see like you eat asparagus every meal. I must really like it.
Hey, you got to have something green every meal. I do broccoli or asparagus or whatever.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's healthy, I don't eat it.
My grandpa had a saying. He said, "If it tastes good, it's not good. It's not good for you. If it tastes bad, it's good for you."
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. He killed my dad. He ate that away. He killed him. But it took 94 years to get him. So my grandpa made 106.
Oh wow.
Eddie, we're gonna have to do like Sawmill Charlie. We're gonna have to find us a connection with a restaurant or something and pick it up from a warehouse somewhere.
If a guy, I don't know. It's probably the way things are getting, all these quote unquote tariffs, et cetera, and I don't want to get started on any of that. I didn't bring it up for that reason, but probably not going to get any cheaper. Sugar's, it's probably, I think the going rate now is about 85 cents to, most of your Costco's and Walmart's and that type of thing so I'm told. I haven't bought any sugar from a retail store for, I don't know, 8
It's
or 10
funny.
years probably.
Last time I had to buy some, Walmart's 10-pound bags were cheaper per pound than Sam's 10 pounds or 25-pound bags.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
think Sam's is supposed to be the one cheaper. I think they do that on purpose.
So a 10-pound bag at Walmart's $8.46, and 25-pound bag is still $19.97.
Well, 8.46. That's basically 85 cents. Am I not? If it's a 10-pound bag, is that not correct? Rounded? No.
Yeah.
So.
So it's still $20 a
Oh,
bag.
Roy is in Michigan. Philip, he don't know what sugar is. They're down there in that mesquite country where he probably, if he fed bees sugar, they'd probably all die down there in that scrub brush.
You would think it would be Philip, but I don't know where they're getting it.
Ah, what do you mean? Where's it raised?
Yeah.
In Florida and Minnesota and North Dakota. I'm up there. I'm going to say the sugar beets or the cane comes off from mostly Florida.
There's a
These
lot of sugar beets in southern Montana too.
Yeah, well, all through that strip across there in Minnesota, through the Dakotas and
Hmm.
eastern Montana, they raise sugar beets. Yes.
I don't know what the cost is at Costco, DC.
Last
Um,
time I
Well,
saw
I
it was
think Roy
30.
just Roy Pugh said 60 cents, but he's in Michigan, so I guess it's running about the same about every place. I don't know.
Here in St. Louis, last time I checked a couple months ago, it was about $32 for 50 pounds.
Jeez.
Okay. That'd be a little less than 85 cents, I'd say.
Somewhere in the high 60s, low 70s, somewhere there.
That'd be 72 cents a pound, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Not cheap.
68 cents at Aldi's. The cheapest right here, locally retail, I think, it's a Kroger knockoff called Ruler. Yeah,
Oh,
they're a little cheaper than what Walmart's and Costco's are in my area. So the people tell me. I haven't bought any myself. Don't tend to.
I remember buying 25-pound bags at Walmart looking like a shiner walking out of there with a cart full. And
Yeah,
I was paying, I think it was about 8 something a bag, and that was about 4 years ago. It's just, 4 or 5 years ago, right before COVID. And then now, I mean, holy cow.
That guy just come in here has been to the beach. You could tell him he's still got his swimming suit on. He's still got his swimming suit on. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm just barely able to move, but I'm still alive.
Yeah, Mama had me out there picking peas today, and it like to kill me.
Sounded like you was doing a pretty good job of it as many as you got through.
We did about 6 or 7 bushels today. We still
My
got.
goodness.
There's probably 25 or 30 bushels out there to get, but we got them all shelled and done. She done sold them all.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought you guys had some sugar cane down there in Louisiana over around the river, but there's none around you, is there, Joey? I mean, directly close to you?
It's all south and west of me.
Yeah, south down over towards how you say it, Lafitte over there, or Lafayette, over in that
Lafayette
area, Homa, down that far.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what's going on in your bee world? Anything at all, Mark?
It's hot. That's all I can tell you.
That is not a fact.
Yeah, the beetles are moving in though,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to set traps and towels and everything I can to start getting a hold of them.
You're talk about the high beetles, I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they moving in thick. Even my big colonies are getting them, so
Yeah.
they're here. They was on a flow today for some reason. I don't know what was going on, unless it was beans or what. But man, they were getting with it today.
wow.
My bees, I don't know where it's all coming from. I just don't know where it's all coming from, but every hive I've got is bringing in some pollen right now. I don't know. It's a pale yellow, kind of a yellowish gray, and I've got a bright yellow and a little dab of orange. From my area, I just don't. I'll be honest, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Sure,
I'm
I
seeing
can
seeing
guess
that
it.
same thing, JW.
Yeah.
We have the wild sunflowers are in bloom right now. I don't know if any of that's from them, but they're definitely working those. You know, the smaller sunflowers come up like 4 or 5 at a head.
Yeah. I don't have any sunflowers close to me. I planted a bunch in the last couple of years. A deer eats it as fast as you can. I can't grow it. I mean, small patches around here, the deer eat it as fast as you could. It's about as fast as it comes up.
Maybe your bees are heading west out there towards Matt's area, JW.
I don't think that's silly. My bees are smarter than that. I don't cross that river. I don't.
It's cleaner over here.
Things are a lot neater and nicer. And he's even got his hive stands. They're not even level. Them guys over in Missouri, they can't even get
Oh man,
they can't find a place level enough. They can just put their hive stands. They're all slanted downhill onto the side. He sent me some pictures of a stand Matt did today. Had 2 concrete blocks on one end of the stand, had 2 concrete blocks plus another about a 6 or 8 inch block on the other end. Of course, it's probably on the hillside someplace. But I said, don't think I see wrong with it. It looked like a good deal, except the bees would have to grow legs shorter on one side than on the other side because they'd be all running downhill all the time.
Yeah, he carried me over to one of them hills, and that's all I could do to walk down there and walk back up.
Did you? Let me ask you about this. How about did you come back to the clean side with any chigger bites on you? Did you?
Yeah, in some bad places too.
He said he had a bunch of chiggers out there, and I said, well, you can't believe this or not. I don't think I've had 10 chiggers in my life. That's something in my system they don't like.
I never had one. I lived out there 5 years and never had one bite me.
Yeah, I don't. I'm the same way. I ain't saying I never had one, but I'm very few I've ever had. It's been years since I've had one.
Well, you go down that hillside with Matt, and I promise you'll get some.
That Sawyer bug spray, it's permethrin, but you treat your clothes with it, and it'll last up to 4 or 5 washes.
Yeah,
it's like an invisible shield. I can tell you that. I don't get bit.
Well, I'm sure that's probably cheaper. See, when I was a kid, my mother, when we picked blackberries and stuff, she'd always put powdered sulfa around her shoes and stuff, to keep them off of us. I don't even know if you can buy powdered sulfa now anymore. Used to, every little store came in little old cans, but I don't even know. That'll work. That'll keep them off of you, but.
You could just sprinkle 7 around your ankles, JW.
Yeah.
We use kerosene, JW. That's all we had.
Yeah.
So Charlie entered my honey in a honey contest, huh? Well, I'll have a talk with him about that.
Is it that blue curl, Todd?
Yeah. There's only 2 bottles of that left in the world right now because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get some this year. But I think I might send it over to Tim and Hannah's. The other bottle I have, I'll send it over there.
Oh, you talk about your blue curl, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Oh, you're coming after Philip hard this year, aren't you?
Well, I already made a check out to him.
So. The only bottle left in the world, huh?
Yeah, the last bottle left in the world.
And it's in the contest. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I already sent them a check, so I should be good. I'll just make sure I seal the deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a rigged deal anyway. You're going up against biased judges.
Philip says I should save my money.
I emailed all my entries last year and I didn't get ones. Well, I did too. I'm lying. I got a crown and a $100 bill is just about that thick from Hannah after it was over. After I bitched and raised thunder so much because of that doggone crooked Philip Morris and Russell Koopman up there. They took all the honors, and it was a rigged deal. I'm telling you, boys, it's rigged.
Well, all right, I'm gonna get off here and put my chef's hat on and start cooking. Well, barbecuing.
Well, I had one more question I was going to ask you,
Ask away.
just to keep you on here.
Yeah, okay.
What time would you be cooking if I wasn't asking you this question? How long would it be before you started cooking?
7:05.
Okay.
You got an 8-minute question?
Come back in here at 7:03, and I've got another question for you, if you will, please.
Hey, Todd, come on over, man. I got some barbecue ribs over here. Been cooking ribs all day, too.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Come
Ribs
on
are
over.
hard. That's a tough one to put down there.
Are the coon ribs or possum ribs, Mark? He probably wouldn't know the difference.
Oh, no. These are baby back hog ribs.
Oh, man.
This is the real deal.
I've had some of those. They're delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's going to.
I got a question.
You up, Mark. Watch him. He's wanting something.
I got a question.
Dwayne's done been over here and got his.
Did he?
He come over here and got him and Mama a slab.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Mark. Are you making Memphis-style ribs or North Carolina-style ribs?
Well, no, I'm making Tennessee ribs.
Okay. Well, no, because what is it? A Memphis-style, they use a tomato-based sauce, and North Carolina, they use a vinegar-based sauce, I think. Maybe I got them backwards. I don't know.
I use mustard as a base, and then I've got a barbecue rub that I rub on, and then I'll cook it for 3 hours, bone down, and then I'll wrap it, and then I'll cook it bone up in the wrap for 2 hours, and then I'll open the wrap, and then I'll smother it in honey and barbecue sauce. That's all I do at about 235, and it stays at 235. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
I'm hungry now.
I'll be dang. I'd be out of nose and eat by all that trouble.
Oh, it's good. Bone just pulls right out of there, and it's just as good. Yeah, it takes 5 hours to do it right.
I'm a patient person. I'd have me 3 pounds of bologna eating the time I was cooking them.
Yeah.
Oh.
I smother it in honey. That really sweetens it up.
Have you ever tried that squeeze bottle margarine, putting a little bit in there, and then putting brown sugar, and then putting some honey on that, wrap them back up?
Yeah, and I do like the brown sugar. I really do. It's almost too sweet, though.
Yeah. But see, that's where a vinegar-based sauce kind of takes that sweetness. It gives it a challenge.
Now I'll spritz it about every 45 minutes to an hour with apple cider vinegar.
Oh, I was going to say apple juice. You use apple cider vinegar?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man, I'm hungry.
That's Chef Boyard Todd there, Mark.
This in my belly right now.
He's into all that cooking type stuff. Of course, he has to. He can't find a woman. Poor guy. I'm trying to help him.
Yeah.
Nice.
My banging out some moves in my belly. I got to get moving. You guys are gonna get me in trouble.
We're gonna fix him. We're gonna fix him up.
It's only 7:01. You still got 2 more minutes. You got to hang in here. I got another question coming up for you.
The time changed over
Hey,
here at
hey,
7:03.
Todd, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What was that product you were using to preserve your comb? I'm actually in that position and kind of wanted to go around the board to pick everyone's kind of brain. Actually, I know JW likes the moth or the
Mhm.
the moth crystals.
I've just
But
used it for years. They probably got better stuff than I use.
this is the first year I've really ran into the problem. Let's say of preserving comb. I probably have 600 deep frames that I want to save, and
Here's
I just want to go about it right and not
yeah.
regret it in springtime. That's a lot.
Uh,
That's my honey crop next year.
you got brood comb in there. All in.
No, a lot of it's just honey frames. Yeah, a lot of
Okay.
it's just honey, mediums and
Uh,
mostly deeps. But
so the stuff it's called Hygienic Boost.
okay,
Um, I have some coming. It'll probably get here next week. Um, now this stuff works great, and it'll last for easily 6 months. But the only trick to it, the only drawback to it is you got to spray it on twice. If you spray it on once, you'll have coverage for a little while, but you will not have coverage for 6 months. And it's
meaning every frame similar to like BT and
correct. It's an all natural product like BT is, and then you just get a garden sprayer. You spray it on both sides. You let them do their thing for a week, and then you go back and spray it on again. That second coat, that's it, and
gotcha.
it works great. Um, I had some that lasted 7 months, but then I had like 700 on the side of the house that I was babysitting, and I just couldn't keep up, and finally, probably about a third of them got attacked. So,
Hmm.
but I sprayed them down last July and August, and this probably in June is when they got, or May and June is when they got zapped. So
And you said you're storing those outside, right?
outside, yep, outside.
Just kind
Now,
of tipped up, like so they can stay dry, or how are you doing that? Or is it
now,
tight sealed?
oh, you mean like the lids or the
Yeah,
boxes?
well, just stacked up, just like it's on a hive.
Oh, yeah. I just leave it stacked up. It has a lid on it.
Hmm.
That's it.
You don't
Um,
have the bottom sealed?
well, yeah. So what I did was I brought some pallets back, and I put 5 or 6 pallets down, and I took some old rags and I shoved them in the entrance. After I put the first box down, I shoved them in the entrance, sealed it off, and just stacked them up 5, 6 high, and that was it. And most of those, Eddie's got a question. Most of those were brood comb. So yeah, they kept for quite a while.
You know what else works good for the bottom of that stack? I got my hands on a bunch of political signs, and you can set that down, and it'll actually seal itself with all that weight on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just use old migratory or
yeah.
That
old
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Telescoping.
telescoping tops and set them down in that and put a piece of
Mhm.
either bubble wrap or like Joyce talked about, something that keeps the bugs out of them, and just stack them up and then put something tight on top.
Mhm.
Got mine about 12 high, most of them.
But I've never done anything to my honeycomb. I just stack them up in the shed.
Yeah. If it
Really?
doesn't have brood on it, you don't really need to treat it. You just keep it. The way to treat it is keep the light and the air going through it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Mhm.
but if it's got any type of brood in it, forget it.
all
And
pollen.
I use the stuff that JW is using, that dichlorobenzene or whatever it is, the pea
I've
dichloro.
used it for years. That's all I ever use.
And that stuff works good too, but the only drawback is you got to air out those frames for a little bit before you
Yeah.
put them on Hive. With this stuff, you could spray that frame. You could spray frames and put it right back on the Hive right there, wet. This is an all natural product. It doesn't hurt them at all. So it's good stuff. It really is.
Nice.
You call it what? What do you call that stuff you're using now again, Todd?
It's called Hygienic Boost. I don't know why it's called Hygienic Boost, but that's what it's called.
And you order it directly on the online from the company, or is it an Amazon deal, or?
No, from the manufacturer. So
Never heard of it.
yeah, it's like I said, the only drawback is you got to spray those frames twice.
That's what I use.
Yeah, mothball crystals.
Yeah, that's what I use.
I would think though, if you now here's the thing, a little bag. I don't have an old. I don't have an old sample bag, but it's not a very big bag. You put about half of that bag in there, which is about a cup and a half, 2 cups maybe. You put it in a 1 gallon sprayer. You can put it in a 2 gallon sprayer. Put a gallon of water in there. So a whole bag. You put 2 gallons of water in a 2 gallon sprayer with that bag. It'll treat about 70, 80, 90 hives, depending on how fine a spray mist you have when you spray them. What I was thinking is, if you get enough of it, put it in a big kind of, I don't know, a big enough a toad or something, and just dunk those and put the water and then dunk the frames in there. Do that a couple of times, a week apart or so. I think it's a month apart. You spray them, then a month later you come back, spray them again. That's it.
Just make sure you put them frames upside down when you dip them in there.
It dries out. It won't hurt the comb or anything. I sprayed them. I put them back in the boxes and off they went. It worked good. It worked good. So,
Good deal.
Yeah. I'm going to get some, like I said, it's supposed to be here next Thursday, I think. So if anybody's interested, contact me on my website.
16 to 20 plywood sheet.
Or if you have my number, text me, call me, whatever.
What kind of prices on that stuff, Todd?
Bag of that is $19.99.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cheaper than the crystals.
Yeah. And it'll do, like I said, anywhere between 70, 90 frames. You just got, spray it on there with just a light mist. Really, it's all contact. Everything it contacts, it doesn't. I don't know what it is, but the moths don't like it. They just stay away.
Yeah. I think a bag like what Joey had's about $5, Joey, something like that at Walmart.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
It'll do what, 20 supers maybe, that one bag. That's about a pound. So
yeah. What I get is those little paper plates that sit on the top box.
Yeah.
With an empty box on top, and I just put a handful in there.
But I usually have to do it 2 or 3 times throughout the season.
The hotter it is, the faster it evaporates.
Yeah, and that's the most important time too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this stuff is pretty good stuff. And like I said, you could go 6-7 months probably, with treating. And I felt, like I said, I felt safe after 6 months. I still did. I watched it. After about the 4th month, I started opening some boxes or tearing lids off and taking a frame out here, a frame out there, checked all the stacks. I never had a problem.
Well, you actually videoed it one time, didn't you?
I did. but I was using the crystals on a test box. Or excuse me, I had a stack of four boxes that were not treated, and after I forgot the length of time, 6 weeks I think it was, they just started getting invaded by moss, and then I had a paper plate full of crystals I put in there. I should have taken the video before I put the crystals in there, but I didn't. But then you go over to the other boxes that were 3 feet away. You take the lid off. Doesn't matter what box you picked up. You looked at it. They were clean as a whistle. So, but here's the funny thing. At about it was probably month number 5. It could have been month 6. When I started picking up those lids, I had the wax moths on the bottom inside of those lids. They weren't in the boxes, but they were thinking about it. They were getting up on the lids on the inside.
They knew something was in there. They just couldn't get to it right.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. They didn't. Whatever it was, it held them back for quite a while. They just don't like it.
It's quite a bit cheaper, no doubt.
Yeah, it is.
I just ordered $50 worth of crystals, and I'll have to do that at least one more time before fall.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely good stuff. I like Roy. Roy says winter takes care of his pest problems.
Yeah,
I don't do that here.
That's true to a certain extent. They'll get in there before winter gets here, and
yeah,
if you don't watch it awful close, unless they're pretty clean frames, I know that. So I store all my stuff in a storage container, shut it up tight, and I just scatter that. I put one every 3 boxes deep. As I stack them up, I put in a plate with the paramoth on it, and then I just scattered around all around inside that storage container. It's pretty. I don't have a bug or an ant or anything ever attempt to go in there, because and it'll also keep out at least one of those guys from the dirty side, because he don't like the smell of that paramoth. He won't go in there, so I can. If I want to get away from him, all I got to do is go inside that storage container.
When I did use the crystals and I stacked up my boxes, I took that big strip of cellophane and I went through the whole stack. I sealed it up, because I wanted that stuff to stay in there. It worked great, but you had to unpack that and reseal it again every time you reapplied. So
I just treat the whole storage container in my case. So
yeah.
What isn't inside the boxes is outside. So, and it also keeps away, like I said, guys, it's got diarrhea mouth. You get tired to listen to it, you just all you in there. If he sees this, he's going to be giving me thunder.
He's going to. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're still on a little bit of a trickle flow right now. Just enough where I feel like I can go in and rob any last honey off of whatever I'm pulling this year. So
have you not pulled any more since I was out there then?
No, not yet. I'm just letting them fill them up.
You've been honeydewing, haven't you? You've been celebrating birthdays and all that kind of.
Yeah.
With the program. I'm
busy with the family stuff, but I've been looking after all the heifers for next year, all the the last mating nukes, and getting them into single deeps and building them up, and they're just catching up with them. I was so busy pulling honey and stuff, I kind of fell behind on some mating nukes. So, but yeah, that's done with trying to make queens for this year, and I don't know what the last percentage was in the mid to high 90s. I want to say 21 out of 23, something like that. So I'm going to stop right there. That's it.
I don't know price wise, Philip, but I get about all my paramoth from through Amazon. It's.
Yeah, I get mine at Walmart.
Yeah,
I was
seen
about to ask him about the price of Tractor Supply. They're usually always higher than everybody else on stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So
Well,
the
probably.
paramoth, I'm concerned about because we have our breezeways connected to the house from the garage. So my son lives there in the middle, and it's all basically a joined space. So I'm wondering like you're saying, JW, when that door to that shipping crate opens up, Tom goes running. I mean, you can usually smell that stuff. So I'm
I
concerned about
didn't
storing it
imagine
like that.
on those people who that guy is. It's kind of a wussy that can't take a little smell.
But no,
I
that's
didn't say it was. I didn't say it was Tom Sossman from St. Louis, so I don't.
We kind of figured
I
the rest of it out.
don't tell.
I
Don't
didn't.
tell anybody. That's a big
Oh,
secret. You've already let it out, man. Shame
yeah,
on
buddy.
you. I'm going to tell you told on
I was pretty sure he wasn't talking about Melissa.
Yeah, he's JW's honoring. Let me. Oh boy.
uh,
But no, I know
It,
the BT. What from what I hear won't kill or keep them from laying eggs, but maybe it kills the larva once they hatch. I don't know if I have that right or not, but I've been kind of being on the fence, just listening to what other people have been doing, and now I actually have the problem of having to store comb, so I want to get it
oh,
right.
Tom and Melissa likes that stuff they use, but don't ask me what it is. Is that it's
I
got
want to
a
say it might be that BT,
I
but maybe not.
I
I
don't think
think
it's
it
what
is.
he told me. What they use, it's
Okay.
uh, something a tan or something. I don't recall.
Oh, Sertan or something.
Sertan, yeah, yeah. I think that's what they use.
Mi-
Gotcha.
Mr. Wizard, it's 7:18. Do you have any more questions for me, or can we?
No, but we
we,
kept you on. We kept you
we
on here
kept them
another
on
15,
another
20 minutes before you intended to.
15 minutes longer, man.
Todd said
gotcha.
he's lost 10 pounds already.
I think my tapeworm died.
Oh, you got him good, JW. We got him good.
Well, good night,
Uh,
then.
Uh,
What is the old people always said? Don't let the door hit you. You know where the sun don't shine.
Don't let the door hit you or God split you.
uh,
hey, send us a selfie of your apron.
No, I can't send that.
Well, thanks for coming on, Todd. We appreciate your conversation, and
yep.
Yeah.
I apologize for keeping you on there longer than you planned to, but it was worth it.
Hey,
He's
Todd,
not
it's good to
sorry.
see you again, buddy. Did that tsunami ever hit out there?
No. They,
He's
no,
gonna fall in the ocean. He ain't gonna have to worry about that.
they were saying that the ocean's gonna be right at my doorstep here pretty soon, but nah.
Yeah, I called him and told him he better get the crap out of there.
Yeah.
It's fixing to hit.
There was what was that again? I forgot. A big earthquake off of wasn't it an earthquake, Mark?
Yeah, out in the ocean somewhere, I think.
Out
And
there.
Martin is right dead center in the biggest, and me too. Supposedly one of the biggest earthquake exposure. This New Madrid fault comes
Oh
right
yeah.
over Mark's house and my front door.
Yep.
They say that's supposed to make the Mississippi run backwards.
Yeah, it did the last time
Yeah,
they
it did.
claimed.
Yeah, that's what formed the lake over here by me.
Yeah, over at Reelfoot. Yeah,
But I
supposed.
think that Mississippi run backwards, and I'm gonna tell you, I think there was a tsunami in the ocean at the same time. Just my opinion, right? Because when you got a tsunami in the ocean, they're out there in the Gulf, say for instance, it is gonna push up.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. I think we had a whole lot of stuff going on at the same time back in them days. But it formed a lake back here behind me. It's a big lake.
Yeah.
From what I remember, that flowed backwards for weeks. Not just days. But
Yeah.
that's a little I know about it.
Yeah, it
If
rang
if not
it
if not maybe longer.
it rang church bells in Boston, they say.
Hmm.
That's a long ways from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. Well, they claim that's one of the major faults, and it's
Yeah.
and this and the the California fall's supposed to be on solid rock, and this is supposed to be on kind of like a shale or something that's, give. So they say it'll be, if we ever, even when we get it, it's going to be a big one. They claim.
That San Andreas fault is due west to me about an hour and a half.
Huh.
Matter
Oh,
of fact,
yeah.
when I drive over to the coast, you drive through a road cut and you can see it. You can see not the fault itself, but you can see the thousands of years of formation of mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Right,
what.
I gotta warm up the frying pans and all that good stuff.
Well, I had another question. You can take one more before you leave?
Yeah, I'll take one more. Dang it.
No, I'm kidding.
Patient, man. He's patient. He would have answered it.
Speaking of the devil, there's a good Canadian man checking in with us.
There's
Good
old
evening,
Mr.
Mr. Hogg.
Mr. Brad.
All right. Well, since you don't have any more questions, JW, I'm going to go.
I'll think of something, but I'll call you up and that time
Yeah.
started, and you'll have to come back on if I get one.
Don't call me in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to be doing my tapeworm feeding.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Good
All
night.
right. I'll see you guys later.
See
All
y'all.
right, Todd.
See you,
Bye-bye.
Todd. Speaking of Brad, he's I just love watching him work a hive. You know, he's
Yeah.
so smooth and fluid. How he
Yeah.
sits down and almost always in shorts. Too
Yeah.
pulls that first outside frame out and just goes to no wasted movement.
You
Very
kind of
fluid.
forget he's in a beehive, don't you?
Yeah, he's just very fluid. I mean, he's like a kung fu master out there. But yeah, it's so hot here. I'm gonna be treating with OA. Basically, is how I'm going at the mites after this last honey gets off. We don't have huge brood nests developing right now. We're bringing in pollen, like you're saying, JW, some yellow and some oranges, but they don't have a bunch of stacked pollen around the brood. They definitely have nectar, but I would almost say we're a little bit in a pollen dearth, a little bit of nectar flowing still, but we usually don't have any kind of an issue with the pollen, the pollen sources. And after another little bit of rain, I'm sure that'll right itself. But
I tried to give you some bananas.
I know it. I know it. Did you get all those on there?
Yeah, I had, what was it, 4 cases of bananas, something like that.
It was a lot.
I had more bananas than I knew what to do with.
It looked like you just left a zoo.
Yeah. Bees like them, just don't leave the peel in there. I learned that. Do not leave the peel in there. You'll have beetles, definitely.
Yeah.
They'll eat the banana part pretty quick.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, just with the brood, I want to use Apiguard, but with the weather and humidity that we're having, kind of like JW is saying, it's in
It's
the
too hot.
low to mid 90s, and the humidity felt like it was about 100%.
We got a cold front coming in next week, though, Matt.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
don't know how long it's gonna last, but high of 80s, 85, 84, something like that.
Well,
See, the
that's
problem
what I'm
is
relying on. I hope they're right, Mark. They're giving
what they-
80 in the 80s here for into next week. We'll see. But before then, we got all 90s, so.
Yeah.
See, my problem with that treatment is, those first 3 days are looking awesome, but what's the next 3 weeks after that? And the
Right.
chances are
Well, you get through
they
the
get
first
that.
3 days, I'm going to say you're safe with it on the Apiguard, Matt.
Yeah,
That's
but you
my
still
opinion.
depending on how you're dosing it. If it's 25,
Yeah.
you get 4 of those, so you got to get lucky 4
Right.
times.
Right.
But I'm gonna use the Apiguard, but with that reaction, I want to get my OA rounds and blast whatever phoretic mites I can get off of the bees, and then use some extended pads, and
Yeah,
then go with Apiguard when the weather's a little bit more favorable.
That's what I
But
done.
I will say, when I put ApiGuard on and it was cooler weather, it crystallized and wasn't worth a flip.
Yeah, you mean on the cards? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
saying cold,
It
but I
does
mean,
better in hotter weather. Even 70s, it'll crystallize on you.
They claim on the if now don't take this for gospel folk because I think it says on there that they can go to 90. For Hive.
Yeah. I think a half dose, you'll be all right myself.
You want to give if you put them on at this 90 degree stuff, I'm going to suggest you give them quite a bit of room. Put on
Yeah.
a pretty good.
I'm not putting it on.
Yeah,
It's too hot for me to get out there to do it.
yeah.
I
Hi.
I just about had all I could take yesterday feeding jar load or jar feeders. I found a dogwood tree. I almost started sipping on some some 1-to-1 in Apis just to get up that hill. Mark knows it's,
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't see how you do it.
I keep fit. That's I don't know. A four-wheeler takes most of the work, but
Yeah.
I could say something, Mark, but I won't here on public television. For the
well,
world.
that's rare. JW has a governor. I didn't know he.
You see that question mark? You still
Oh,
grafting?
no. No. No, I quit way early because we was just getting so much rain and
Yeah.
my mating success just sucked so bad. I just quit.
It's been a rainy season for the good side of the river. I know that.
Yeah.
I think we're about 20 inches right now above our normal average rainfall for the year here. You might have heard me say that earlier, but I think that's a fact. That's don't
Uh,
carve that in stone or anybody hold me to that actually got actual measurements, but
I've got the little tempest measurement thing out here, and I've got almost 55 inches this year where I'm at, and that thing's pretty accurate.
mm, all right, Mr. Canadian.
Even,
He's,
even
he's thinking about becoming another state, boys. He's gonna, and when he does, I heard he was running for governor up there. Gonna run for governor when Manitoba becomes the 51st, 52nd, or 53rd state. I don't know which one it's going to be, but everything everything west of the river, isn't it?
you don't want this place.
Uh,
The lunatics have taken charge.
yeah, well, we
Yeah,
got more than our share of what of them
yeah,
got
we've had
here.
our share of that, sure
Yeah,
have.
yeah, you're not gonna.
That was sure some kind words, Matt. That really made my day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate watching and being able to study you. From afar.
Fully clothed with,
Yeah.
with our short pants on.
Yeah,
Right. No, that's something I haven't gone out to the bees in shorts yet. Sometimes I'll get, through my Carhartt pants, but I don't know. What was it? Keith actually just had a video and he was in blue jeans and kind of started getting some staples going on, I feel like. But I think in blue jeans I may get bit a little bit myself. Just a
Well,
little
I
too
worked my
thin for
out
me.
yard today. I didn't have the smoker going there, and then I came home and worked. And I
Hey,
did have
Michael,
I
how
did
you
have to
doing?
start it after a while. There was one colony. It was starting to get a little cranky. So
Hmm.
I do use smoke.
We
I was
met.
out at Ian's on Monday though, and helping. Well, I wasn't helping so much. I was taking video most of the time, but I told him that I was being the canary in the coal mine for stinginess because I was walking around in t-shirt and shorts, and everybody else is pretty well fully clothed. And So if I was just being the decoy, so nobody else would get stung.
Uh,
That was fun.
when
That
it,
was fun to see. That was fun to be. You see that on his videos and stuff, but to be in the fray while they're pulling
Yeah,
honey, that was pretty amazing. Pretty
yeah.
amazing.
I was watching Corey try to manhandle that thing, and it's more to it than meets the eye. I
It
can
was
see that.
hmm
it was manhandling Corey half the time.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, of
yeah.
course,
yeah,
Ian
those,
slung it around. Ian knows how to sway with it and move it, because
That's
he's
right.
done it enough times. And I'm
Yeah,
sure Corey, that was probably his first time, and
yeah. It's like
you could
anything.
tell
Is
it was
kind of
pushing
kind
it.
of you move with it instead of fight it. You fight it and
Yeah,
you work too hard.
yeah,
But he got the hang of it. Corey was he did a lot with it that day, so he,
right.
he caught on. But man, they were lifting 5 deeps of honey with that thing at a time. That's
That's a
incredible.
lot.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of weight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those kids he had was it his one son, his one daughter, and his future son-in-law were helping out, and man, it's just like a little beehive. Everywhere you look, there's a person. There's only 4 or 5 of them, but everywhere you look, there's somebody. You know,
when Ian pulled out in that truck, I thought that truck's fixing to break in half.
that's
It was
why I
low.
wanted to take that video because.
Yeah, it was squatting pretty good.
Yep. He said I
good
was
problem to
worried. I
have.
was worried I was overloaded, and I said, "No, don't worry about you overloaded. You were definitely overloaded.
Yeah, no doubt.
You didn't go very far, and he didn't go very fast."
Yeah.
So how's your weather up there, Brad? What kind of weather you guys got now?
It's been a really dry season, and we've had some warm days. Today was a very warm day. I mean, a very warm day for us, right? And it was very humid.
Hmm.
Like, even right now, 80% humidity. Um, so it was 30. What did it get up to? 32 C. Uh, Canadians start to melt about 30, 31.
Yeah.
So
It's about
I I,
what, 93 here?
I worked
90,
out
about 93.
I worked out there, and I can only take it for a short period of time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I got those nukes to rehome into bigger boxes. Mark, I was pulling some slabs of brood out of those mating nukes.
Awesome.
Some of them are looking really nice.
Good.
So I'm going to put them into sixes. Honey flow arrived. It's been so dry, and honey flow here is a good 2 weeks late. But they're starting to make honey now, and they're starting to make honeycomb, draw my frames. Question is, how long is that going to last?
Yeah, don't let them nukes get packed too full of
Yeah.
honey, because they
So
will
that's the idea.
overnight.
Get those nukes, a little more space. The one, I put a third box on the one, so it's got 3 6s now because it was packed out. That's the one that was in the same spot as the cell builder. It was a interesting, little bit of a different way to do it. It had no brood. Actually, I guess none of those had brood. There was 11 nukes I made up out of that one cell builder,
Well,
and none of them had any brood. It's just bees, and there was nectar in the combs.
you just add
And
virgins to it, to
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that was in the same place as the cell builder, I didn't leave any bees. I just left some frames and in the same place, so I got all the field force. And man, did it pack out! Wow, she made it. She's laying well. And like I say, I just had to put third box, so they got 18 frames now.
Yeah.
So let's hope they grow well and they winter well, right?
That
That's
one
next.
ought to have a lot of forgers.
Yeah,
It'll make some money.
yeah, it's making honey for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you pretty comfortable you're getting built back up to respectable size, Brad?
No, not really. But you know what? I, I'm okay with that because I think it's getting to be a point in my life where I need to kind of cut back a little. Uh, I've been having a hard time keeping up to 150 colonies or something.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay if I got 50 colonies or something. I think that's just fine. My little out yard of 16, I go out there, work 16 colonies, and that's fine with me.
Sure.
So I can
Well,
run like I got 3 yards now, so if I can run 16 at each yard, that's 48. So that's a pretty comfortable number, I think. Is
sure.
Yeah. I
You
like
older
15 or
guys,
20 in a yard like that.
that Mark?
I said I like 15 or 20 in a yard like that. It's
Yeah,
not too much. It's
yeah.
not, by the time you get done, you're ready for a break anyway.
I was ran 32 at my out yard. That was a Boy, that was a good solid number. That really wore you out. Last year at my third yard, I had 20, and that was a much nicer number than 32. And even in 20, was it 2023? I ran 40 at my out yard, and that was a big yard
Yeah,
for one guy, right?
that's rough. Yeah.
So, so I told my landowner, I said I'm going to start running a bit smaller yard. He said that's fine.
It makes it a lot more enjoyable.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. To be
What
able
I've
to go
noticed,
to your out yard, do something, and then do something else that day instead of just being completely worn out when you get home. Sorry, Brad.
hmm,
I
Yeah.
talked on top of you.
this no, sorry, the smaller yards too. It seems like I seem to have a habit of being more thorough, if that makes sense, just because you can
Mhm.
get through all of it and not get like halfway through and then run out of frames and have to come back the next day. Or,
Yeah,
our largest yard has well, I don't even know, 70 hives probably, give or take some mating nukes. And that's just depending on what I'm going there to do, I can't touch all those hives in one day. There's no way.
yeah,
So that's just where I do all the queen, the everything, the mating and nuke building and actually main production yard too. So there's a lot going on there.
yeah. I'll start into a yard, and I'm Mr. Thorough, and then I'll get about 18 hives in, and then it's like I just got to get this done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Mhm.
But yeah, there's something to be said about getting your bee work done and having the day to enjoy doing something completely other than bee work. You know it. So
or just more beef, more beef
yeah,
work.
or come home and build screen bottom boards or migratory
Tried.
tops or something.
I did my out yard today, and I tried to come home, and I did work my home yard uh, when I come home, but there was more work out there than I could manage today. So set my sights on another day. We'll go back out there tomorrow. Make sure those mating nukes aren't going to plug out. I think they're plugged out already, though.
What is your flow right now, Brad? Is it about all your clovers?
That's about
Alfalfa?
all. That's about all I have
Yeah.
ever. Yeah.
You don't feel like you get any that much tree pollen from being along the river there? How far are you from the river? You're on the east side of it or west side of the river?
Red River.
Yeah.
I'm neither because I'm kind of north. Well, not that far north, but yeah, technically I would be. You'd say I'm on the east side of the river, but I'm
Okay.
right up at the mouth of the river, so
Okay.
that river doesn't come into play where I am much. But yeah, beyond springtime, beyond April, maybe early May, the trees do nothing for our bees.
Yeah. Okay.
There's almost I guess there's a little bit of fruit or something, but we don't really see anything from them. I'm sure they get something, but there's never any particular nectar flow from a tree around here. That's the one thing I learned about from you fellas down south, in different areas. You're always talking, like Bob Binney, for example, he's always talking about the different trees that are, oh, we're getting this flow from this tree, and the basswood and the sourwood and the, this, that, and this other thing, and around here, but they don't talk about kind of the ground level flowers very much.
Yeah.
And around here, it's all ground flowers. It's all like sweet clover is the tallest thing we have.
Yeah.
Well, I guess sunflowers later in the season, but really it's just, you get some sweet clover is 4 feet high, and that's the biggest thing that the bees are foraging.
That's kind of what Ian was talking about several years ago, wasn't it? Trying to get some of the farmers to actually let some just grow up, some properties just grow up to get that diversity.
Yeah, I have quite a bit of that here. I'm much better off than he is in that regard. There's a lot more unmanaged land. There's marsh land and crown land right, half a mile from my house kind of thing. Tell you, after that wildfire went through, the landscape out there greened up in days, and there's quite a bit of sweet clover out there now.
Yeah, I used to come up there and run some bird dogs years ago.
Yeah.
Up there northwest of Winnipeg, and
Yeah.
then we come up there a couple of years and fished the Red River. But I've not been maybe 20 from the dam there at Winnipeg or whatever you call it. That 20, maybe 10 or 15 miles further up the furthest up the river I ever was.
The Lockport Dam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just south of Selkirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite a trophy channel cat,
Oh, channel cats, yeah, that's
there in the river. That's a trophy channel cat. I never dreamed I'd ever. A guy called me and said, "You want to go catfishing?" I said, "Yeah, where you want to go?" I figured he's going to Louisiana or someplace. He said, "We're going to Manitoba." So,
Red River.
Yeah, we went up there. That's the only place I ever went fishing. We caught so many fish, I got tired of it. We came home a couple of days early, both trips.
Was it all channel cats?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never eat one. I don't know if I'd eat anything out of that
They're
river.
good eating. Well, we ate 2 or 3 of them. See, they've got a slot limit. They've got to be, let me think about this. It's been a few years back.
It changes too. It can't be too big. It can't be too small.
To keep them, they had to be over 18 inches.
Yeah.
And under 28, there's like a 10-inch deal in there. Is the only ones you could keep because we caught a lot of them that weighed 30 and 40 pounds just tan line fishing with rods and reels,
Yeah, big. They get big.
Big old channel cats.
They got sturgeon up here too in the lakes. Those get big.
Mm-hmm.
Big lake sturgeon, and they'll be 100 years old too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd feel bad if I caught a 100-year-old sturgeon.
Yeah.
It's like this thing lived 100 years, and I'm the bugger that he found that killed him.
Yeah. Most sports
They're like
people,
dinosaurs.
something like that.
They are actually dinosaurs. Yeah.
Catch and release. Most sports people will. Them guys down there, Tennessee and Mississippi, Louisiana. Some of them guys might not, but they're kind of, they're a little not near as high class as this Southern Yankees are up here.
Well,
we're meat hunters down here, JW.
Yeah, that's what I didn't come out and say that, but that's kind of what I was thinking, Mark.
Yeah.
We'll eat anything that don't eat us first.
Yeah.
if it's got a mother, it's good eating, eh?
Yeah. If it's got milk on its face, it's even better than that. Yeah. We call that veal.
Yeah, I guess James don't care for catfish. I don't. I get
That's
try to
all
get.
I eat, just about it.
Well, I've been on a live chat for a while. Thought I'd come in and say hi.
Well, we're glad to have you. Joy probably wouldn't say that, but I will. I kind of like
Yeah,
Canadian.
I've been wondering where you was at.
Oh, don't worry. I'm never far away. I just sometimes I'm just sitting here quiet by myself and listening to you a lot of times. And
Well, your old buddy, he's kind of slowed down on his chats, so
don't uh, don't ever feel that my lack of participation is a statement on your
yeah.
how I feel about you. You know.
Well, that's the way I do sometimes. I just go in and start listening because I don't
Yeah.
I don't get too involved in it because I may have to get up and walk away.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's for sure. You have to make sure you're willing to
sometimes
commit.
sometimes I have it just on my phone, stuck in my pocket, listening.
Yeah.
It's
I've
a
done
it's
that.
a busy time of year. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tiring. Like, you know, I'm pretty tired, but this week flew by. Man, I was so tired after the weekend. We had a little gathering on Saturday night here, so it was a lot of work and we are up kind of late. Corey was here for the weekend and then drove all the way to Ian's on Monday and worked with him for a couple hours.
Well, how far would he be from you by the road?
He's he's 2 hour drive.
2 hour drive.
Yeah,
You have to come back to Winnipeg, then he's south and west of Winnipeg, is he not? Or about straight
that's
west?
right. So it's a straight shot. I'm
Oh,
I'm north I'm
okay.
northeast of Winnipeg and he's southwest.
Okay,
So
you missed the city then, or the
well,
big
I
town
just
I
I just
call
have to go around it. Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
but you go around the city on the west side then to go
That's
from
right.
to
Yeah,
Ian's. Okay.
yeah. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, technically, I've you can go either way. You can go around the east side because I hit the city on the northeast corner and I leave the city on the southwest corner. So you go either way. It's really not much difference.
Okay.
Uh, that way worked out because I dropped Corey off in Winnipeg on the way back
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because his flight was early the next morning, so he caught a hotel
Now,
that
you're
night.
not talking about Corey Stevens, are you?
Uh, Corey Van Loon.
Okay, I don't know him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I recognized him by his voice, before just because I'm not used to seeing like what he looks like on a video, and
yeah, yeah,
like, man, I wonder if it's a Nature Sweet Bee, and then for whatever reason I saw the
yeah. That's Nature Sweet Bees,
like
Corey.
that's him.
Yeah.
He seems like a nice guy.
Oh, he's a hell of a nice guy. Hell of a nice guy. Yeah, we had some good times. I took him to my out yard. I was having some queen mysteries and whatnot. I took him to my out yard and I said, Corey, go through that. Tell me what you think is going on there. And he solved a couple of problems for me out there. So I was very grateful. I think his eyes are better than mine.
I have that problem a little bit too, Brad. I get these dirty side guys come out here and do my dirty work.
Well, I got my new eyes and I can't see close as well. So,
That's exactly me. I had
you know,
actually, I've had lenses put in my eyes as for extended vision, but up close I can't see very
yeah,
good,
yeah, that's
especially through a
exactly.
V veil.
Yeah. Yeah. If I don't have the reading glasses and a flashlight or something, it's
Yep,
hard. It's
sure
hard.
is. It surely is.
So I spent today sorting through comb honey frames, trying to arrange them so that they'll draw them nicely. Because bees don't read the books, do they?
Mm-mm. I'm gonna
It's
try
just,
that setup, like you do those deep frames. That was interesting.
it seems to be
I really
working
like
pretty
that.
good overall. Not trouble free, but it seems to be pretty good. I think next year, I think I'll do it again. But what I'll try to do is see a light bulb just came on this year, and I did mention it in my video last week. Um, I'll try to get brood frames out of the brood chamber, move them up, and then put my comb honey frames between them
Hmm.
because then they won't draw the brood frames out into the interfere with the comb honey frame.
Smart.
So I think, well, smart. It took me 10 years to realize that. Maybe smart, but not very fast.
That sounds like me.
And I've known that principle since the beginning of my beekeeping. I was a beekeeper for 2 months when I realized they'll draw honeycomb out as wide as the space available, but brood comb is always the same depth. Always the same
Hmm.
depth, exactly. And and for 10 years I've struggled with this comb honey thing, and I realized just now we'll put it between the brood frames. I wonder if a guy put like if you had a comb honey frame and then you had a blank kind of a blank divider or something there that it can back up against, so that they'll draw it this far and that's it. Just like it was against the wall, right?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that would help them, you know, stay on script as far as the way I put it.
Sure.
Because that's kind of how Ross round works, right? Because they got the Ross round and they got the little disc on the front that's just got some slots for the bees to go in, but they have the disc on the front so that they have something to work against.
Well, in reality, did you ever have you had the experience with Ross rounds? Can you get them to work?
I tried them one year. The bees just walked around in it all summer. I gave it away.
I've tried them 2 or 3 times. I can't get them to call up the things. I don't know
Yeah,
what. I must
yeah.
have bad breath or something, but I don't. They just don't. That just don't
And
work for me.
and it's just a personal preference. I don't like to use a foundation, and that is a bigger struggle, right? To go completely foundationless in a thing,
Yeah.
and it's just my personal preference that it's 100% drawn by the bees. There's no
Sure.
man-made
Yeah.
rib in there.
Yeah, it's interesting that they work it from right and left. I guess too from the top, but that they're joining each other in the middle. I found that fascinating.
Yeah, I think they
That's
had
amazing to me.
they had two lobes, and they just made the
Yeah.
two lobes come together.
And you
Yeah,
Hmm.
can't tell when they're done. You can't tell that it was two pieces at one time.
Hmm. Yep.
It's just perfect.
so a lot of them have that little gap in the top. They have that little
Yeah.
space in the top under the top bar, but a lot of them they've completely filled,
Hmm.
which is nice. There's quite a bit of it here in the home yard that they've drawn up pretty nicely. It should be filling and capping. Hopefully I have enough flow left. I don't know. 26th of July.
But our flow, the way it was this year, it was hard to really get good. We got some drawn out comb, but it was hard to get much of any drawing constant because our flow was dipping.
Mm,
It'd get rolling good and then it would dip. I don't know what was causing
And
that.
Yeah, when it rolled in so fast they wasn't building cone because
Yeah.
it was coming in so fast. And
yeah,
then it's just like you had storms and rain, and then it just shut off for a while.
that's a canola flow. It's hard to draw comb because they bring it in faster than they can draw the comb.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy.
well, I'll
Yeah,
tell you, let you guys in on a little secret in case you have never had it happen. You don't want to get that foundationless comb wet after you extract honey out of it because it'll. That's a tendency. Believe me, I know from
Yeah.
experience the last 2 weeks. has a tendency to come unglued big time. I'm telling you.
If you get it wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I set my honey supers out for the bees to clean out, Brad,
Oh, okay. So
last week, and we had 6 inches of rain in 5 days.
Wow.
On those
that's
supers,
that's a lot of rain. So
and I spent this week drying out supers and boxes and getting stuff put back together to store. So
it gets moldy pretty fast, doesn't it?
tell me about it. Anything that had just a
Yeah.
touch of pollen in it, it was already soured and starting to mold.
Yeah.
I had a big time mess. And with those foundations, I had a few foundations I've just scattered amongst the hives. Normally most of my hives I use foundation with. I had a few in there that I've kind of tried to make a little comb honey and stuff with, and just about every one of them came apart on me. They got full of water. So
Talk about a mess. I've been doing that comb rendering in my honey house, and I got that new little pressure washer going. Worked great, but man, that is the filthiest job ever. I come in covered in that stuff, soaking right from top to bottom. There's got to be a better way.
I've tried those urinal cakes, Philip, but they're not really that bad. You ought to try one sometime.
Well, y'all have had experience with plastic foundation quite a bit. I haven't. I've only been using it a couple of years. Now, if it's a pollen frame and you take your hive tool and scrape all that off, can you just re-wax over that and they'll pull it?
You
I've
won't.
never
You're not
tried.
going to have to use a pressure washer or something on there because you scrape all that pollen is, in my opinion, is at the bottom of those. Goes down to the
Yeah,
bottom of
Yeah.
those little indentations that's in each individual foundation, and even though you scrape off the comb, you're still going to have that little pollen stuff in them individual.
right. I was just wondering if
The
you
best way to do
waxed
it is
over it, they would draw it. I didn't know.
freeze it, and all that'll come out a lot easier.
Oh
Knock
yeah.
it off easier.
Okay.
Pollen or the cocoon bottoms that are stuck down in
I've
there.
I've not
Yeah.
tried that, Mark. I've not tried to re-wax it without pressure washing it.
Yeah. I actually had so many of them, Mark. I did put some. I'll be honest with you. I put some of them back in. It had little pollen, indentation that I'd scrape the comb off of. We'll see. Ask me this time next year whether it worked or not. So
Did you roll it back with more wax or scrape some wax on it
I
or
didn't
something?
do a thing to them. The ones that I left, then I didn't put any wax on them.
Okay.
Let's see. You know,
That's not
believe
gonna
it or
work.
not, when I scrape those off, and it's hot now anyway. Them individual frames that fell apart on me or I scraped off was nasty from had pollen in them or bee bread, whatever you want to call it. They
Yeah.
were very very waxy actually.
Okay.
Underneath that comb, that foundation had a if you let it kind of dry down or cool down, it had a wax, a good wax feel to it. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
I left some intentionally just to see what would happen with it. That's what I did. I just done it this week, so I'm just telling you. I can tell you this time next year where it worked or not. That's all I can tell you.
I'll be interested to hear about that because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's not going to work very well.
No, you're probably right. But
So,
I didn't do all of them. Some of them
so,
I
you,
cleaned, but after I did uh, uh, 200 or 300 of them, you get a little bit careless.
so if it works, you let me know
You
that
get
it
to
worked.
take a few shortcuts. So I've got a heated pressure washer too, but and
Paul,
they talk about a mess. That is a mess. I mean, like
I
Brad said,
used to scrape all my old plastic from dead outs and stuff like that. Now I punch it out over a garbage can and put a
yeah,
new one in.
put a new foundation in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did some of that too. I've done it all this week. I've probably replaced, I don't know, maybe 30 foundations,
Well, I got about 2,000 here to do, JW.
Well,
Get-
I don't even want to even think about that. I'm sorry.
Well, and you know what? That's why I'm working at it, because you know a box of frames is $50.
Sure.
So if I got 200 boxes of frames,
Cleaning them up.
that's a lot of dough.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I don't, besides the fact I'm not a huge stickler on this, but if I can use that plastic foundation and it doesn't end up in the dump, then that's good. You know,
Well, I don't have any over 5 years old. I date all my frames.
hmm
When they get 5 years old, if I either burn them all or at least the foundation half of them, replace them. You know.
yeah, that's what I like about the plastic foundation. Because I got frames here, it'll be a big feed frame or sometimes even a big honey frame, and then the wooden frame comes apart or something breaks or whatever. I could just flop that out, put that plastic foundation fully loaded right in a new frame, throw it in the extractor or whatever. I'll keep a box of brand new frames under the uncapper, uh, with no foundation anything in them. So as those frames come through, one kind of comes apart, then I can just lay it down, put that foundation right in a new frame, and then it goes in the extractor from there.
Let's
Don't have
talk
to worry about it
uncapper.
later.
Can we talk
Well, then it's ready to
uncapper?
go. Then it's done and ready to go. Yeah, then the frame goes in a bucket, and that's the winter job to fix all these old frames or burn them. And
Let's
that's the thing.
talk
If I
uncapper.
want to, if I'm going to burn it,
Go ahead.
it's a
Go
wooden
ahead, Brad.
frame. That's if I'm going to burn it, it's a wooden frame, right? Big deal.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry,
talk
JW.
uncapper for a minute. What kind of uncapper you got?
I got an old Cowan
Okay.
automatic.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that now. I think I seen that in one of your videos. Yeah.
Yeah, I've shown it a couple times. It's an old timer, but you're an old timer, so we haven't thrown you out.
That ought to match me about perfect, and had if I could find one for about
I, I
$200,
think I think
$350, I'd take a couple of them.
I think that extractor, that end capper, is about as old as I am. I did walk away with it too because I got it in a package deal with my extractor. So I got it for a real good deal. It wouldn't do anything. Uh, when I got it, it would only smash frames.
hmm
So it took me a long time to dial it in so it wouldn't smash frames anymore. The biggest problem, the guy had cranked up the slip clutch right up tight. So
Just drive. You didn't slow down for nothing, then, did it?
that thing would have twisted a piece of rebar right in two, the way it was set.
Yeah.
So I backed that thing right off so it would barely feed a frame through it. So it would stop smashing frames.
Mhm. Well, this isn't necessarily public information, but I traded my extractor for the guy I trade with don't know that yet, but I traded my extractor for a sawmill.
Oh yeah.
We're trading even.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sucker.
Good extractor.
Right, good on that one.
Portable sawmill. Wait
So
till
now
you
you're
get
gonna start sawing logs, huh?
wait till you get to come back from that, Matt, because I've passed that around. I said, you hold off till I get that thing in on my premises. And you said,
Me
Matt's got a nice portable sawmill out there. He's wanting someplace to store it. I told him I'd trade him at Harmony and Capper for that sawmill.
You know what Barnum and Bailey said.
Yeah.
That's right.
PT
Every minute.
was the main man. He's my hero.
PT Barnum, yeah. Not a very nice guy, from what I hear. But anyway, different story.
PT or me?
Yeah,
Both of us.
True. Yeah, which one?
He talk about.
you almost sound guilty, JW.
Mhm. Got the little guilt complexes there.
Yeah, years flying.
I went out and checked that new yard out today, Matt. That's again.
What about the clover situation?
It's still going. It's still blooming good. I don't know how long. You know, I'm afraid when it dries, when this moisture goes, it'll go quick. But there's
Yeah.
still quite a bit of it
Oh,
going.
kitty cat.
Yep.
My kitty cat's over on my left side.
Well, my kitty cat population at the farm, I had 27 here about 2 months ago. I'm down to 7.
Wow.
27 to 7. I've
Got
got a
coyotes?
bobcat family that moved in, and they're going
Wow.
through them cats, them barn cats. I guess they're eating them. I've got a picture of one of them chasing one of my cats. So, and it disappeared a day or two later. So I know he finally caught it. But it's bobcats is eating my barn cats, which I don't mind other than the fact that I'd spent quite a bit of money on several of them getting them spayed or neutered so I wouldn't be flooded with cats. But
Right. Right.
I got flooded, and then I got, but the
So you don't need to spend money on spay and neuter. You just need to spend money on
just
a
gonna
bobcat.
yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. Well, you can save money now.
You just need a bobcat. That's all.
Oh, it's not funny.
I'm
surprised you got a picture of that bobcat. They usually don't like to get seen, or at least they'll
I
still
got
for
a
a
picture of
picture.
him. He was chasing one of them black barn cats when I got the picture of him.
Wow.
I don't know, but it show up on the. I got it on my camera. I don't know, but I mean, he's a big male. I mean, the one I got the picture of, a big. They got a family. I hear them hollering or talking back there to one another of an evening. You know, so they're raising little ones back there on the back side of my property, I think. So.
I've only seen one coming up out of a river fly fishing, and it was a pretty good hill or bluff I had to climb, and you're just grabbing trees, kind of go up and trying to snap your fly rod. And it's a little bit of a clearing and just a little bit of a ledge, and there was a bobcat. And as soon as I saw he or her, she took probably it seemed like 15
Jump.
foot straight, a vertical jump straight up and out of sight. Like, I mean, as soon as I saw, I couldn't even believe that it could make a move like like it did. But amazing animals, agility is crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty slick. We're getting a pretty good population of them around here. Didn't have any for years, but they're starting to come back pretty stout.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
actually
everywhere here too, JW. Woods
I'm
are
hearing
full.
a lot more quail this year, at least around our area.
Yeah. It was, Ian got more honey from 2 colonies than I got from 50. Yeah. That's me too.
Mhm.
What was there? 8 or 9 deeps high on some of those big ones.
But you're not all canola, are you?
I'm 0 canola,
No,
and that's the difference.
that's different too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did they do with all that canola, honey, Brad, if I may ask?
What did they do with it?
What, yes.
Well, it's good honey. It's the thing about it is though, it's pretty well. It has to be a creamed honey because it doesn't like to stay liquid at all. But it makes beautiful creamed honey. It's really nice. It'll actually.
I know Doug out there in Saskatchewan. He makes a lot. I think he creams all of his honey. Does he not? You probably know better than I.
Yeah, you pretty well have to. It doesn't stay liquid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. it's good honey.
What kind of window you got it before it crystallizes? I mean, it's going to vary by year probably, but
Couple of weeks.
overall, couple weeks,
Yeah.
and it'll
That's why these
crystallize.
guys pull twice. They pull twice because they get a lot of honey, but they pull twice because they got to extract it. If they don't extract it, before
Sure.
say 3 weeks, then it's going to harden in the comb.
Yeah.
And it makes terrible winter feed because of that. The bees can't take it.
Okay.
So yeah, so like that yard that we were pulling, they had lifted those boxes up. I think five. I think they had 5 boxes above the escape. They had 2 boxes below the escape. So they had lifted 5, put 2 empty deeps and the escape on top of those 2 empty deeps, and set the 5 on top for them to clear. And he left it for 4 days. He said it was a little too long, usually 3 days. And so they were lifting the 5 off of the escape, and we'd lift the escape up, and they were building comb under the escape. So those 2 deeps that they put on there 4 days ago were more than full. And so we were adding 1 more empty on that and putting the lid back on. So they had 3 after they'd taken 5. And they were going to easily fill that next one. So yeah, it's just unfathomable how much honey they get and how fast it comes in. It's incredible.
Are most of those, Brad, double deeps or double broods or single brood?
Singles.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got to the yard, and as soon as we got to the yard, and we got to see what the jobs were, and I volunteered to take the lids off because I was the tallest person, and I could barely reach the lid on some of those, and I can reach 8 feet high. They were unbelievably tall.
Well, they got you about stand on a ladder just to pick it up with that lift, huh?
That's Corey. He wasn't as tall. He couldn't lift it up very far onto the truck. But the guy on the truck just takes over. He just takes the lift and puts it on the truck. But yeah, that was an interesting thing to see. It was so. His youngest daughter, was there, and she was carrying boxes. She'd go over. She'd get 2 deeps that are, empty comb, right, to put on, and she'd carry these 2 empty deeps over, and she'd put one on this one, and she'd put one on that one. And I saw that, and I was kind of done taking video for a while, and so I walked over to the truck, and she was up on the truck getting some more, and I said, I'll carry some of these boxes over there for you. And she was so sweet. She says in such a caring tone, she says, "Can you carry 2?" And I said, "Yeah, I could carry 2, but I'm not going to carry them the way you do. I just carry one in each hand." And so I just made myself useful carrying boxes. But it was so cute. Can you carry 2? Without having a heart attack? She said it. So anyway, that was a fun day.
Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end the chat. It's already been 2 hours and 43 minutes. We'll go ahead and close it out.
Good chat, Joey.
Appreciate everybody over in the chat and the people coming in. Y'all just hang in there a minute. We'll go ahead and close this thing out. Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.